I've explored the wonders of our planet, from the dazzling blues of our oceans teeming with life, to the lush emerald forests that breathe for us, and the intricate web of ecosystems that make Earth unique in the universe. These places are not just beautiful, they are vital, supporting countless species and providing the foundation for all life, including our own. Even the most resilient deserts, shaped by millennia of wind and sun, are not immune to the changes we bring. But as I journeyed through these landscapes, I noticed a growing shadow, one that stretches across continents and oceans alike. This shadow is plastic. Once hailed as a miracle of modern invention, plastic revolutionized our lives with its convenience and versatility. But today it has become a global menace, infiltrating even the most remote corners of our world. Every year, humanity produces hundreds of millions of tons of plastic, much of it designed to be used just once and then discarded. Our throwaway culture has created mountains of waste that our planet simply cannot digest, overwhelming landfills and spilling into the environment. Plastic chokes our rivers, blankets our coastlines, and seeps into the very fabric of our ecosystems. It pollutes the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the food we eat. Wildlife, from the smallest plankton to the largest whales, are entangled in or ingest plastic, often with fatal consequences. This is not a distant threat, it's a present danger. Scientists have found plastic fragments in the stomachs of albatross chicks, thousands of miles from civilization, and even in the deepest trenches of the ocean where sunlight never reaches. No place is untouched. The convenience of plastic has come at a terrible cost. Our wetlands, streams, and forests are now littered with debris that will outlast us by centuries, altering the delicate balance of nature and threatening the survival of countless species. To truly address this crisis, we must first understand the scale and impact of plastic pollution. Scientists and communities around the world are working tirelessly to study its effects, collect data, and develop innovative solutions that could help us turn the tide. This is more than an environmental issue, it's a call to action for all of us. Each piece of plastic we pick up, every effort to reduce our use, and every voice raised in support of change brings us closer to protecting the natural world we all depend on. The challenge before us is immense, but so too is our capacity for ingenuity, resilience, and cooperation. Together, we can reimagine our relationship with plastic and create a future where nature and humanity thrive side by side. Join me as we delve into the heart of this plastic predicament, uncover its causes, and discover the solutions that can restore balance to our planet. To truly tackle the plastic crisis, we must first understand what plastic pollution is, and why it has become one of the most pressing environmental challenges of our time. Plastic pollution refers to the accumulation of plastic objects and particles in the environment where they cause harm to wildlife, disrupt natural habitats, and even threaten human health. Every year, millions of tons of plastic waste enter our ecosystems, from bustling cities to the most remote corners of the planet. These plastics, ranging from large, discarded bottles to tiny fragments, can be found everywhere, on beaches, in rivers, floating in the ocean, and even in the stomachs of animals. Wildlife often mistake plastic for food or become entangled in it, leading to injury, starvation, and death. The impact is devastating not just for individual animals but for entire ecosystems that depend on delicate balances. Unlike organic materials, plastic doesn't biodegrade. Instead, it breaks down into smaller and smaller pieces, known as microplastics, through exposure to sunlight, wind, and water. This process can take hundreds or even thousands of years, meaning that every piece of plastic ever created still exists in some form today. These persistent fragments contaminate soil, water, and air, making plastic pollution a long-lasting problem. The core of the issue lies in the disconnect between how briefly we use plastic items and how long they persist in the environment. Single-use plastics, like bags, bottles, and packaging, are often used for just a few minutes but can remain in nature for centuries. This throwaway culture has led to an overwhelming buildup of waste that our planet simply cannot absorb. Consider a plastic straw, used for a quick drink, then tossed away. That same straw can linger in the ocean for up to 200 years, slowly breaking apart, but never truly disappearing. Multiply this by billions of straws, bottles, and bags, and the scale of the problem becomes clear. Microplastics, which are plastic particles less than 5 millimeters in size, have now been detected in some of the most remote and extreme environments on Earth, from the icy peaks of Mount Everest to the deepest ocean trenches. These tiny fragments are nearly impossible to remove and can be ingested by even the smallest organisms, entering the food chain and eventually making their way to our dinner plates. When wildlife ingests these plastic fragments, they not only suffer physical harm, but the plastics also absorb and carry toxic chemicals. These toxins accumulate in animal tissues and move up the food chain, impacting predators, including humans, who consume seafood and other affected animals. The consequences ripple through entire ecosystems, altering natural processes and threatening biodiversity. Plastic pollution is not just about unsightly litter, it represents a profound disruption of natural cycles, affecting water quality, soil health, and the ability of plants and animals to thrive. Rivers, clogged with plastic, can flood more easily, forests can become choked with debris, and landscapes once teeming with life can be transformed into wastelands. Understanding the dual nature of plastic, as both a useful material and a persistent pollutant, is crucial for finding effective solutions. Scientists, activists, and communities around the world are working to study the impacts of plastic pollution and develop strategies to reduce its spread. Acknowledging the scale and complexity of the problem is the first step toward meaningful change. It requires a shift in how we produce, use, and dispose of plastics, as well as a commitment from individuals, businesses, and governments to take action. Addressing this pervasive problem demands urgency and collective effort. Every piece of plastic we prevent from entering the environment is a step toward healing our planet. Together, let's explore the ways we can combat this crisis and create a cleaner, healthier future for all living things. Our addiction to plastic has far-reaching consequences, and the most immediate and heartbreaking victims are the animals that share our planet. Across continents and oceans, wildlife is forced to navigate a world increasingly choked by our waste. From the tiniest plankton to the largest whales, no creature is immune to the dangers posed by plastic pollution. Every day, distressing images emerge: sea turtles ensnared in abandoned fishing nets, seabirds with wings pinned by plastic rings, and seals struggling to breathe as plastic cuts into their flesh. These are not isolated incidents, but daily tragedies unfolding in every corner of the globe. In the ocean, plastic bags drift like deadly imposters, mimicking jellyfish and luring hungry turtles and fish. When ingested, these bags can block digestive tracts, causing slow and painful deaths by starvation or internal injury. The problem is so widespread that scientists have found plastic in the stomachs of nearly every marine species studied. Ghost nets, lost or discarded fishing gear, continue to trap and kill marine life for decades, drifting silently through the water. Birds, mistaking colorful plastic fragments for food, feed them to their chicks, unwittingly sealing their fate. On remote islands, albatross parents return from the sea with bellies full of plastic, feeding it to their chicks. These young birds often die with stomachs packed with indigestible debris, never knowing the taste of real food. Ingested plastic causes internal injuries, blocks nutrient absorption, and leads to malnutrition. Even worse, plastics act as sponges for toxic chemicals, which then concentrate up the food chain, affecting not just wildlife, but entire ecosystems. Top predators, including humans, are not spared. As we consume seafood, we also ingest the microplastics and toxins that have accumulated in marine life, putting our own health at risk. This crisis is urgent and demands immediate action. Around the world, people are coming together to rescue animals, clean up beaches, and demand change from industries and governments. By working together, we can protect wildlife and restore balance to our planet. Next, let's explore the solutions that can help safeguard the incredible creatures with whom we share our world. Plastic pollution affects our health, with microplastics infiltrating our bodies. They're in the air, water, and food, even found in human lungs and blood. Plastics contain chemicals like BPA, linked to health issues. Microplastics are airborne, inhaled daily, potentially causing respiratory problems. Communities near plastic production suffer from pollution, a social justice issue. The convenience of plastic creates a toxic burden for others. We must address this health crisis and demand change. When we discard plastic, it embarks on a complex journey. Mismanaged waste ends up in dump sites carried by rivers to the sea. Oceans become the ultimate sink, with gyres trapping debris. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch is a murky soup of plastic. Plastic sinks, littering the ocean floor, altering ecosystems. Plastic is found in every environment, from parks to polar ice. This global distribution shows plastic pollution is systemic. We must address this pervasive problem with urgency. Let's explore how we can combat this crisis. The time for action is now. Extreme weather events amplify plastic pollution. Floods wash plastic into rivers and oceans, overwhelming ecosystems. Storms accelerate plastic fragmentation into microplastics. Legacy plastic is unearthed, adding to contemporary waste. Plastic waste clogs, drainage systems, worsening urban flooding. This dynamic threat intertwines with the climate crisis. We must address this growing threat with urgency. Let's explore solutions to mitigate this crisis. A wave of action is sweeping the globe. Countries are banning single-use plastics, reducing consumption. The UN is working on a global treaty to address plastic pollution. Grassroots efforts remove plastic and educate communities. Innovation is key, with biodegradable materials and recycling technologies. Companies pledge to reduce plastic packaging and invest in sustainability. This multi-pronged strategy offers hope for tackling the crisis. The battle against plastic pollution begins with us. Our choices send a signal to manufacturers about the world we want. Embrace reusability, like carrying a reusable water bottle. Choose products with sustainable packaging. Support brands reducing plastic and offering refillable options. Advocate for change in your community. Every action contributes to a healthier planet. Let's work together for a cleaner world. We stand at a crossroads, facing a global emergency. The plastic pollution crisis reflects our broken relationship with nature. We have the knowledge and moral imperative to change course. Protecting our planet is a duty we owe to future generations. We must envision a future in harmony with nature. Let us be inspired by the natural world's beauty and resilience. Join the mission to reduce, reuse, and refuse. Demand change from leaders and industries. Our planet's future is in our hands. Let us not fail it.